David, what's next for you?
Well, we're still looking for the criminal prosecution. We have had, and by we, I mean Prosecute Now as an organization, Stan Graham, John Hewlett, and I have been working on identifying patients who died from the combination of the shot and the remdesivir injection. The lethal dyad that was built by Fauci and Barrick. And we have about 24 sheriffs and DAs across the country who are willing to take state level action for murder, premeditated murder, reckless homicide, negligent homicide, and other felony crimes against the perpetrators of this whole thing. So we are reviewing an enormous number of very tragic cases of people who died. Regrettably, at this point in time, we still don't have a match of a body in the right county. We have several thousand deaths, just not in the jurisdictions where we have sheriffs and DAs ready to pursue. So we're still pursuing that, and we will continue to do that. For me, that's kind of the dog to the bone. I'm not going to stop until I find that somewhere. We are continuing to do an enormous amount of education, but I'm trying to educate people on antitrust laws. I'm trying to educate them on the actual legal definition of conspiracy, because I think we need to reclaim the brand conspiracy and drop the word theory. If we're going to have constructive conversations, we need to say that conspiracies are crimes, and we need to be able to talk about them. So I'm doing a lot of that. And then I am part of a very interesting venture, Brian, where there's a what's next that's coming. That what's next is going to include things like food security and energy security. It's going to include potentially alternative value networks. I've been a skeptic of what people are doing relying on digital things, simply because the National Telecommunications Acts in the United States and their global equivalents make any broadcast signal a dangerous thing to use if you want liberty, because they can be interdicted, they can be intercepted, and they can be modified legally under things like the National Telecommunications Act. So I've been a huge outspoken critic of what is the reckless pursuit of unthoughtful digital anything, because if you don't think about where the susceptibilities of interruption and disruption and misdirection are prone in that environment, then you've kind of misled the public. There's no such thing as a safe digital signal right now anywhere on this planet. So I'm working on a very large project right now, which is a radical rethinking of how we do energy. We are working very aggressively to rebrand the idea of what carbon is, because burning carbon inefficiently with the Promethean innovation that is as old as the Greeks is probably not the best way to use carbon. And we have some technology that is radically changing what carbon can and will be as part of the future energy solution of the world. And I happen to be one of the co-inventors of the enabling technology, and we're building a huge business around it. So I'm doing that, trying to make sure that we've covered our bases so that kind of when we, my operating horizon is 2028, and it may be sooner, but it's definitely 2028, when we are going to be in a situation where the incumbent systems necessarily fail, because we've built the failure into, there's a use by date on the current system, and it can't get past 2028. And as such, I'd like to be part of a community that says, let's build solutions so that when large scale transformation and social change happens, we're not sitting with our kind of hands behind our back going, somebody should have done something. So I have a great team of amazing people, a global team who are getting together and saying, let's not wait for the crisis. Let's build a bunch of different arcs, and let's make sure the arcs are big enough that it's not your family and a bunch of animals only. Like, build an arc big enough to be the landing zone for humanity. And the good news is there's a ton of amazing people who are rallying around this. And so I'm somewhere in the leadership conversation of that particular effort. And that's what we're doing. So we're making a landing zone for humanity. And we've made tons and tons of really great progress. And the best of all is I feel great about the humanity that I'm doing it for, because I'm meeting amazing people all across this planet who are beautiful souls, many of whom have not had a platform or a voice that can be heard. But the groundswell of support for a better version of humanity far outweighs the tyranny of the World Economic Forum, far outweighs the tyranny of the mainstream narrative, far outweighs the hijacking of the political system. And I think the best thing in the world to do in 2028 is to make them all irrelevant.
So Jim Rickards has just recorded a video that's not available to anyone in the public, and he's going to be talking about how this upcoming recession is going to be fast, it's going to be bloody, it's going to be nasty. But at the same time, he's going to show you how you can position yourself to profit from all of this chaos. Now, we've made this video only available to our viewers. Go to LondonReal.tv/Jim. Watch that immediately. I can't say enough good things about Jim Rickards. He understands the global economic system better than any guest I've ever had on London Real. His predictions are almost uncannily true, and you can learn how to profit from his vision, from his expertise, and his understanding of economics. So go to LondonReal.tv/Jim or click the link below. It's an excellent, excellent look on what's going to happen in the future and how you can position yourself to profit from that. Jim is one of the best in the business, one of my favorite guests on London Real, and he's very, very good at predicting the future and showing us all to profit from it. So click the link, and I hope you enjoy.
The greedy bankers are about to do it again. In 2008, they crashed our financial system and nearly bankrupted the entire global economy. Then they received trillions of dollars in government bailouts. And after, they demanded fat bonuses paid for by you, the taxpayer.
It turns out the banks haven't just been screwing the American taxpayers, they're also screwing over their investors. Turns out the banking industry is the worst place you could put your money, despite enormous taxpayer bailouts.
Now the bankers are back to take away your financial freedom. They lie and tell you that cryptocurrency isn't safe. They try to make it illegal for you to choose how to invest your hard-earned money. They lie and say cryptocurrency is used by money launderers and criminals. But look at the record. It's the banks themselves that launder hundreds of billions of dollars every year to the biggest criminal operations in the world.
Leaked documents have revealed how some UK banks have helped criminals, money launderers and Russians under sanctions.
American authorities discovered that the Sinaloa cartel moved $881 million through HSBC accounts as bank officials turned a blind eye to the illegality.
The bankers lie and say cryptocurrency is not a real investment. Meanwhile, the smartest CEOs in the world are buying billions and billions of it. The truth is that banks lie about cryptocurrency because it makes them scared. The banks take $9 trillion per year of your hard-earned money, and they are worried that they will finally be exposed. They're scared because crypto means they can no longer control your money, which means they can no longer control you. They are scared because you might actually understand your money and intelligently decide what to do with it. Now is the time for us to come together, fight back, and take control. It's time to educate ourselves, our families, and our communities. Because financial education means financial freedom. We know that cryptocurrencies will help us build the new decentralized financial system of the future. A banking system that is of the people, by the people, and for the people. A banking system where access to finance is a fundamental human right. A banking system that is free and fair and welcomes all humans on this earth. The DeFi revolution is happening. We, the people, can no longer be fooled. We choose to take control of our finances. We choose to take control of our freedom. We choose to take control of our future. Join us, and let's take back our financial freedom forever.